Power Micro, so that's the really, really fine tip one, since July. This is the Customer Choice Beauty Award winner for Best Brow, 14 years running, and you're getting 3 of them. It works out to $13.33 each instead of $26 each. Now, if you're thinking, okay, what shade do I choose? It's a universal shade that matches all hair colors, and you will see that today, based on how hard you press on it. But it's such a great waterproof, talc-free formulation that adheres to your skin. It covers up grays, and then that fine, fine tip allows you to really draw where you want your brow, and then it gives you the appearance of little fine hairs. It's so fantastic. A393397 is your item number. I'll show you in just a little bit with my before and after, or like a real time before and after, because I'll take one off, what having a brow does. Like for me, I could have a whole full face full of makeup, but if I don't have the brow done, it doesn't look right.
It's so impactful. Doing your brows is the quickest way to look younger. It is the quickest way to look more polished and pulled together. It is the quickest way to look and feel your most beautiful. So if you're someone who's like, I don't have a lot of time, but I can squeeze one thing into my beauty routine, what does it have to be? I would always say brows, because when you think about it, on your face, it doesn't matter what face shape you were blessed to be born with, your brows are the only feature that give you your unique frame of symmetry. So if you're not doing your brows, you're robbing yourself of that instant youthful beauty, like that whole overall look. So we created Brow Power Micro in this very easy to use component. So you can literally just use it like you would write your name with a pen or a pencil, and you can draw the look of little fine feathery strokes, because the Micro is a 0.95 millimeter tip, which is the tiniest brow tip we've ever created. And the reason why we did that is because the 0.95 millimeter tip we found was the exact width of a real hair.
Oh, interesting. Yep. I didn't know that.
So that's why it looks so natural. That's why it looks so real. That's why it's so believable when you put it on, because it was developed with plastic surgeons and dermatologists to actually mimic real hairs.
I love that. See, I usually use the Brow Power Full, which is like the thickest one, but I used this one today only on its own, and I felt like I did get more of a precise line, and I'll show you in just a minute. I'll take one off, and then, I'll do it right now, right in real time.
I love
I'm going to use your, do you mind if I take one of your cleansing cloths?
And I even have a little towel if you want to pat dry.
Thank you.
But I love that you do this. I love how real and vulnerable you are when you share this, because I think so many of us can relate to the brow problems that you have, Terry.
Yep.
The sparseness.
And I mean, I've never had particularly pronounced brows because I have naturally blonde hair that has never been, look at this, this just gets me every time. That's never been pronounced, like you couldn't see them. Now, I don't have any, like from here over. I don't know if it's age, I don't know if it's plucking in the 90s to where we looked like we had like barely any brow. But I do know that it looks like it's drooping. Look at the difference.
See, even if you have brows that you can't see, or maybe your brow just goes straight across, look at how you're able to instantly add the look of an arch, and it just adds lift to the whole side of the face. So if you're not doing your brows, that's the one thing that can truly transform everything.
I mean, it used to be, before the brows, it used to be mascara for me. That was like my desert island if I could only have one thing, but now it's the brow. And you've made it very easy. So there's a little spoolie on the other end, so I usually just brush up with 250 orders placed. I brush up what I do have, and then I take that fine tip and I actually pull it up a little bit higher. I go down here and I create a little arch that's not really even there, because it does draw the eye up. And then I draw it out and I try to do a couple strokes so that, and then I just go in there with the little strokes and fill in so it does look very natural.
Love it.
So the wonderful thing is about this, you can kind of create more symmetry, like sometimes one is lower than the other one.
Yes, that's me too.
Or you can just add a little bit of lift if you want.
And it's so easy. Like, my favorite is just how natural it looks. One universal shade that works for blondes, auburns, brunettes, gray, salt and pepper. It makes such a
huge
difference, Terry.
I mean, look at that.
Beautiful. And it's almost like you can see the little hairs that you drew in. Like where I can see where it looks like real hair, real texture. We watched as you created that.
Yep.
Live.
And then if it looks too dark and like, you know, too much, you just take the spoolie in and that breaks it up a little bit too. So I love doing that. It's so fun. Thank you for entertaining me.
Thank you for doing that and showing us.
Because to me, it's one of those things, like it makes a huge difference. Now that same color that I just used, that you have used, we're now going to see turn into red.
Yes.
How?
It's all based on pressure. So the harder you press, the darker the color. The lighter you press, the lighter the color comes out. It's all based on pressure. And you can see on Marissa, very similar to, I feel like your before and after, Terry, you know, you can see the sparseness in her brows on the left. You can see she has some bald patches. You know, maybe one's a little thicker than the other. One has more of an arch than the other. So, but you can see on the other side of the eye, the other side of her face, that brow looks full. It looks like real hair. The color is perfectly matching back to her auburn hair. And it's just that one shade that will match every hair color based on how hard or how soft you press. It's that easy. You cannot mess up the color. It will never look drawn on. It will always look like your most beautiful version of yourself, and intensifying the eye area. Like it brings the attention to the eye. It lifts everything up and draws the attention in, which is really where you want it. You want to connect with the people that you're talking to. You don't want them to be like, oh, wow, what are you using on your brows? You almost just want them to, like, do you ever see somebody and you're like, what have you done? What did you do differently? You changed something, didn't you? It's
right.
like that's,
is it a haircut?
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's truly what it is. Customer Choice Beauty Award winner with all of the brow products that we have here at QVC. This is the one you chose as our customers. You voted best brow for 14 years running. If purchased separately, you'd be looking at $78 because you are getting 3 of them. So share them with your friends, your sister, your mom, or just have enough probably for the next year or at least 6 months. They're $26 each normally. At QVC, they're $13.33. And then you saw Marissa real time applying this. You can make them thicker if you want. You can make them thinner if you want. You can fill them in. I mean, you decide.
Yeah, and you can see that beautifully on Marissa. She was able to get that fullness, that thickness, but it doesn't look drawn on. It looks like she, between the minute that we just saw her and now, it looks like she grew a whole bunch of brow hairs, but it's just Brow Power Micro. So fast, so easy. It adheres to skin. It looks like real hair. It covers any grays, so don't tweeze them, leave them, and coat them with the Brow Power, and it does not come off until you take it off.
Waterproof,
so good,
talc-free. 500 orders just flew out of here. We have not seen these on air since July.
Oh, I believe it. It's been hard to get these.
Okay, well.
It's always hard.
Well, we have them now. We don't have them on auto delivery. So for $13.33, you get 3. If you don't need 3, give a call to your friend and be like, hey, let's pay $13.33 each instead of $26 each. A393-397. And again, it doesn't matter if they have black hair and you have blonde hair, because you can both use the same one.
And if you share a house with somebody who does makeup too, they might end up walking away.
That's